Hey guys, this is the guys talking about stuff with Alex and Kevin. I'm Alex.
This is Kevin.
So yeah, we're doing some Arnold Schwarzenegger action stuff today.
Good old Schwartzy.
We're talking about the man with the guns, and he also was a governor and in the Austrian Special Forces, right?
Yeah, for a year.
So you got some, Mr. Universe. I mean,
7 times or
wow.
Olympia.
Wow. And he also is the Terminator, pretty much. Like, he's like, somebody said Terminator, they can't not think of him.
He
was also Conan.
Hercules.
Yeah. That
happened.
I'm trying to think about how to phrase that one positively. He was Hercules and he fought a bear, so that was pretty. Go on YouTube and watch the clip of him fighting a bear. Trust me, it's one of the best things you'll ever see.
So Arnold's 71 years old. He's done a lot, man. He's old.
Wow.
He's an old guy.
He's older than us combined and some.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch because we're not that old, but
yeah. Us. Yeah. That's almost 3 of us, basically. Almost 3. No Tom.
So,
I mean, he did the Austrian Special Forces in 1965, just for the 1 year. And
he did, yes, he did.
Then he started...
Dracula's here. No,
I guess he started working out.
Yeah.
Or he's been working out before that. He started when he was like 15.
That's some cool stuff, man.
And then he won Mr. Universe when he was 20 years old.
And here I am, 23, and I already have 5 titles of Mr. Universe, so nobody got shit on me, man.
Yeah, he won 5 years. 5 years in a row, 1970 through 75.
Oh, well, that'd be 6 years.
1980.
Because if it was 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, that'd be 6 years.
Yeah, you're right. 0 is also a number. Yeah. Which, fun fact, wasn't a number until, like, pretty recently. I think a couple, 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, because the Romans didn't have a number for it.
They didn't have 0. It wasn't a concept.
Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You never had the
10
concept.
was an X.
Yeah.
It wasn't a 1 and a 0.
Yeah.
There was no extra digit thing going on there.
Didn't
they
restart.
Didn't have placeholders for it. So I do like Roman numerals, though. It is kind of cool to mess around with them. It just feels and looks cool. You know, there's just something interesting about it. I think it's kind of a historical value of it.
Yeah, there's interesting stuff that you can do. Like, it makes things like albums. You'd want to do the Roman numerals instead.
Yeah, because if you do a 5 and you have that V on there, man, that's pretty cool.
Led Zeppelin V? What's this? Yeah, he actually won. I was wrong about that. Not 1970. He won 1960. Okay, so he won as an amateur 1967. Okay. And then pro, he won 68 through 70.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was Mr. Olympia 70 through 75, and then 1980. So.
Wow. So it's like in 1980, he's like, I'm back, bitches.
Yeah, basically, that was his return.
I wanted back. I'll be back.
He's like, I'm back. Look at my back.
You know, it's really cool, though. I know this sounds weird, but Schwarzenegger's almost proof that... Okay, I don't want to come off sounding the wrong way here, but Schwarzenegger's proof that acting's easier than you think it is. Because, see, acting is like drumming. It's easy to do, but it's hard to master. I would never say Schwarzenegger mastered it, but he made himself fun, and that's what
I wouldn't
mattered.
say that he was a bad actor, though.
He wasn't bad, no. Him and Stallone get a bad rap, but they're both pretty good.
I would say Stallone's better than Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my personal opinion.
Well, I mean, you watch Rocky, it's a legitimately great film, and it just works off of the characters.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need any kind of craziness, whereas
Arnold goes at, like, from like the action of it, you know, like he's huge.
If you were to so if you did a chart and it was on one side you have Stallone and on the other side you have Nick Cage, Schwarzenegger's in the middle.
Yeah.
He's a little crazy. He has that kindergarten cop and Jingle All the Way in there, but he's also got more serious things.
He took
like
the
first
working
Terminator.
out to the extreme, and
and you know what's really interesting is that he was really able to get some kind of understanding of acting, and he was able to do a good enough job to be the characters that the directors needed. And it also goes to show one thing is everybody talks about how good Schwarzenegger is in Terminator and Terminator 2. I think it goes to show how good of a director James Cameron is because he makes Schwarzenegger look that good.
It would also be hard to act as a robot, like to do that. Like,
and I think maybe I think sometimes people forget that like there's a kind of disconnect between people and celebrities and stuff, and I feel like a celebrity who maybe feels isolated might actually have those kind of feelings of roboticism in them, and I feel like somebody like him, maybe he felt a little bit of that and he was able to evoke it, and he was able to get a good job out of that.
I think it's crazy how he got to the top of the world with bodybuilding, and then he just went to the top of the world with acting.
And then he became a governor of California, which is pretty much the top thing he could do because he wasn't born in America. Which, I mean, I knew people who were like, I wish Schwarzenegger was president. And I'm like, I kind of can't argue with that. But then on the flip side, it's like, where do you draw the line of, should we just throw the amendments out? And it's like, no. All sorts of problems.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, like,
get rid of order.
Like, you gotta think, America was created 200 years ago, so, like,
and change.
Yeah, those types of rules were more
243 years.
Were more relevant back then because it wasn't like a world.
Yeah.
Like it's a world thing now. Back then, it was like your country. You're in the country, like. If you're a foreigner, you're kind of disconnected from your thing. But if you're a foreigner in America now, you're still totally connected to your home country.
We're both on Facebook. We know everybody. Like, I have friends on Facebook who are British and stuff, and I know people all over the place, and I'm connected. Meanwhile, like, way back in the day, I mean, heck, if you're from Philly and somebody's from Pittsburgh, you would never, ever meet or ever in contact with them. And that's within the same state.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I mean, let alone somebody from Maine and somebody from South Carolina were going to be a little different.
But I mean, like, you think, like, what if, like, Elon Musk was the president? He's South African, so he couldn't become president.
Be.
But
I don't want Mark Zuckerberg to be. I'll put my name on that.
That's a little different. But, like,
I'll sign that petition.
Mark Zuckerberg did one thing. He did Facebook, and he fucked people over.
Mark Zuckerberg, I wouldn't
Elon
trust
Musk
him
at
with
least,
a small
like,
child.
fucking is trying to innovate,
I wouldn't trust Mark Zuckerberg with anything because he's a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, he bought an island and he kicked the inhabitants who their family has been there for like thousands of years off the island because he goes, it's my island now. Meanwhile, the people are like, and I think it was in Hawaii, and he's just like, well, we better find somewhere else. And he's like, I bought your house from you. You're free of this land. Go.
Yeah,
and it's like, I live here because this is my history. This is my people. This is everything we stand for. You're just kicking us off because you thought it looked nice.
Yeah.
You are a scumbag piece of shit, And
Elon Musk is just like, hey, I'll open up a new planet.
Elon Musk is like a pretty chill dude, though. Like, he was on Joe Rogan,
He's smoking weed, getting in trouble. He's still getting shit for that. Like, the government's still doing shit for that.
Well, you know what's funny about it? It's like, so many people lose their shit about that kind of stuff, and it's.
I feel like he's getting a hard time because he's so successful. Like, a lot of people are trying to bring him down.
You know what would be really interesting is, like, the day they legalize weed in America, which is going to happen eventually, every celebrity is going to have, like, a Snap story, and, like, it's going to be on everything, and everybody's just going to be like, you'll see Kevin Hart will be, somewhere, whoa, everybody will be just doing stuff, and I can't wait for Schwarzenegger's video to come out, tying it back in.
And then it's going to be like, what? Then gave this guy that's, like, trying to help the world a bunch of shit because he smoked weed.
Wow.
Speaking of smoking weed, if you watch Pumping Iron, after he wins Mr. Universe, he's sitting there smoking a joint on the
Oh,
couch.
really?
Yeah. He would smoke after working out to, get rid of the muscle pain and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, like...
Makes sense.
He smoked. Tommy Chong smoked with Arnold.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so...
Wow.
Bringing it back to Arnold.
He, also in that documentary, my favorite part is when he's, there's one part right after he's done doing weights, he's like, I love it. It feels like I'm coming all the time.
Yeah.
The funniest.
He's like, yeah, you work out and it hurts and it feels like you're coming. And it's just like, okay, it's like, all right, whatever.
All the time.
But yeah. But that is a really good documentary.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
It's a really good documentary.
And then also speaking of Arnold and making noises, man, there's some Arnold soundboards out there that'll make you lose your shit
so
because
many
it's
movies where he does
get to the chopper, no, don't do it,
So Hercules was his first movie.
put that cookie down.
In 1969.
Yeah, that Hercules in New York.
And
it's so bad.
Pumping Iron came out in 1977, but in between that he did a movie called Stay Hungry.
Well,
Never seen it.
it was with the Twisted Sister music videos and stuff, right? Stay hungry.
I have no idea. I haven't
Right,
seen
every
it, so I
Twisted
couldn't tell
Sister
you.
fan they got excited.
Then he's got The Villain, the Jane Mansfield story.
Oh yeah, for those who can't tell, I'm obviously under the weather today because clearly I am not. My voice is a little.
Yeah, you could have drank some honey and tea before you started. Would have been a good idea. Onward,
son.
Onward. 1982, Conan the Barbarian, and then 1984, Conan the Destroyer.
Okay,
Let's talk about
Let's
that.
talk Conan the Barbarian. Okay, that's kind of like. That was the first time people were like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah.
I actually still think the movie's legitimately good. I have
It
the
is good.
VHS. I have my brother has the DVD.
One of the funniest things I think in that movie is when
when he's
like,
banging the witch and he throws her in the fire.
Okay, that's a good
That
part.
scene is hilarious when she just and then she's like about to kill him and he's just like, I'm done with you, and throws her in the fire. And then she just explodes. and then there's a part when he's doing training with the kung fu guy, and the guy comes up and goes, huh, and then smacks him all across his body, and then he just starts walking away after explaining what to do, and then this other guy kind of chuckles and he spin kicks and kicks the guy, and it's the funniest shit.
I'm thinking that part where it's near the end when there's that big fucking door thing. Mm-hmm. And it's it's falling, and he grabs it, and he's like, I got it, go hold it up. And it's the biggest fucking stone door that you've ever seen. It's like that no one could ever hold that up. I don't care who you are.
He's fucking Hercules.
And he's just holding it. He's just like, go, I got it, no problem. Just go.
It's only 600 pounds. I got it.
That thing would be way more than 600 pounds.
It's 2,300.
Yeah.
And it's Schwarzenegger. You can probably do it.
Oh my God.
In all honesty, he's probably made of cardboard and paper mache.
Put some weights on there so he looks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they put some little sandbags in it. So even if it came down and hit him, it'd be a cushy hit. No. Yo,
Conan, that was a good one.
Oh yeah,
and it really brought him into the
though,
spotlight there.
If you want to have one of the best experiences you'll ever have in your life, watch the Conan the Barbarian with the commentary on with Schwarzenegger and the director. And there's just some great stuff in there. And the part I was talking about where he pushes the chick off into the fire and she explodes, he's just like, ha ha ha, I'm done with you, bitch. And the director and him are just laughing about it. And then There's several parts where like they're asking each other like, "What the heck were you thinking?" And there's a part where Schwarzenegger's like, "Ah," and his eyes are like all big and everything.
Mm-hmm.
His mouth is like, "Ah," and he's got that big like, "Ah," and the director's like, "I told him to pretend to be a bear," and then Schwarzenegger's like, "And I tried, but I was more like a wolf, and it wasn't good." He's like, "We did 28 takes."
That's fucking terrible.
And the guy's like, "Yeah, we spent the whole afternoon. We couldn't get the shot right, and then we just said, fuck it."
Yeah.
There's just so many times in the commentary where they say shit like that, and it's a great watch. Also, The Godfather, totally unrelated, is a great watch with the commentary, too.
I mean, that's a good movie no matter what.
It's an incredible movie no matter what. So, anyway, I just, anytime I talk commentary stuff, I think of that one. But yeah, Schwarzenegger, man.
Yeah, so right after Conan, he popped off the Terminator.
And we just did a Terminator episode,
so we
got
don't
that
we don't need to go
in
into that much, but you guys know Terminator. That's a great one. Then you got Red Sonja. I've seen
Sonya.
that. Yeah, Sonya. I've seen that. It's been a while.
I have the Terminator 2 soundtrack on CD.
We got a cool guy here.
Yo.
We got a cool guy here.
Yo, CD soundtrack, man. Yo, I need to get that Terminator on vinyl, though.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
That'd be cool.
That would be a good one.
The first Terminator's an awesome soundtrack. It's really underrated, I think. Nobody talks about it. Like, everybody talks Terminator 2. They're like, "Oh, it's an incredible action movie." I'm like, the first one's an incredible horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Nobody ever talks about how good it is. And it is, like, it's legitimately great.
And who doesn't talk about his next movie, The Commando?
Okay, Commando is so awesome. It's so over the top, I understand.
Yeah.
It's on that same, like, enjoyment with, like, Con Air and stuff like that.
It's just like, watch Arnold go through an island and massacre.
It's super
all these
fun.
people. Yeah.
It's a good watch. Like, I try to tell people to watch all different kinds of movies, check all different things out. But sometimes you want to sit down and go, "Got a 6-pack of Budweiser, got the remote in one hand. It's a Commando and Predator."
Yeah.
You know, we're going to hit all those. We're going to see First Bloods in that playlist. So you just do a marathon of that, and that's a great time. You have the guys come over.
Yeah.
Get some nachos and shit, you know.
Yeah, that was 1985. That was the same year then Red Sonja came out.
Yeah.
And then you got 1986 Raw Deal.
So that's with what, Jim Belushi, I think? Or is that the Chicago one? If you hit it and you show me the poster, I could tell you which one it is. I think that's the one with Jim Belushi.
It's that one.
Okay, no, that's the Chicago. It's like a crime kind of movie, like a crime family.
I saw it a really long time ago.
Yeah, I just remember it being fine.
Yeah, it didn't stick in the mind as much as some of the other ones, but it's an Arnold movie. Check it out. You might as well. I lost my list here. Man, they got all the stats for bodybuilding on here and shit. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Got them stats, bro.
Then
We're
right after that, we got The Predator.
Okay.
1987 is Major Alan Dutch Schaefer.
Okay. I don't know that I could say, like, we don't have enough runtime for me to say all the nice things.
We're going to have
to
do a Predator episode.
I'll be honest. I have every Alien and Predator movie. I have both franchises. I have the thing. They're two of my all-time favorite
I'll admit,
franchises.
I haven't watched the Alien as much. I've seen a couple of them. I haven't watched them as much, though. I've seen them once or twice. But
you are missing
I've watched The Predators multiple times.
Okay,
definitely.
have you seen the new one?
No, I haven't seen that
People
one.
gave it crap, and I thought it was pretty good. It was fun.
I don't like to read. I don't like to read other people's opinions and take it.
It was pretty funny. Now, they joke about the mythos and stuff, and I read all AVP comics. I have all kinds of stuff to do with it. Like, I have the whole 9 yards when it comes to Alien and Predator, and I was not offended by the movie. It wasn't the same experience I had with Last Jedi, where they didn't specifically take characters you liked and fucked with them. People acted like they did, and yes, they threw in a thing where predators can be mutated and stuff, and they joked around about, well, why is it called a predator? Isn't it more of a hunter? Predator sounds cooler, you know? Yeah. And there's some stuff like that where I can see some people being like, oh, that joke was, oh, come on, man. But, I mean, there's some stuff in there that's funny, and there's a part where Tom Jane's in it, and he says to Olivia Munn, he's like, eat your pussy. Because he has Tourette's.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck did you say? And then like the movie stops for this joke. Yeah. And then they're all talking about this, and then they keep joking, and he's like, no. He said, you're not a pussy. Mm-hmm. And then he like tried to cover up what he said. It's pretty funny. But I thought the movie was not that bad. But Predator, the original one's pretty great. The second one's even some fun. Yeah. And then Predators I thought was pretty good. And then the new one I thought was pretty good also. I mean, the new one, I thought the ending kind of sucked. But, like, I had fun for the ride. I'll watch it when I want to watch the whole series. Yeah. I have a bin of Alien and Predator comics. Like, I might have some AVP goggles on while I'm watching this shit. Like, I own AVP Requiem, and it's a fucking 1 out of 10 movie. But you know what? To me, AVP Requiem is such a fun watch because of two things. One, you get some Alien versus Predator action stuff, which is pretty cool. But my favorite part is the movie is so terrible. It's so much. There's a scene where the guy walks. So these parents are trying to tell their daughter that she didn't see a monster out the window. And the guy's like, see, honey, no monster. And the alien just jumps through the window and eats him right in front of this little girl. And she's like, oh, mommy, oh, no. And then the mom grabs her and they start running. And then like 10 seconds later, they're okay. They just watched their husband and father get eaten by a fucking alien. And then like 2 minutes later, they're meeting these people, and they're like, who are you? They're not traumatized by the death of a close family member. It's that kind of level of good. It feels like the worst kind of slasher movies. So
it's like where people's short-term memory.
You know the shitty 2000s remakes of all the classic slashers that were made? Like, I think Rob Zombie's Halloween's better than people give it credit for, so I'm not going to count that one. But the Friday the 13th remake is absolute trash, and it feels exactly like AVP Requiem. And the only difference is Friday the 13th remake probably has like 15 to 17 minutes of naked women in it, whereas AVP Requiem, I'm not sure has any. But there's literally like a bullying thing that's in there. Like, this guy's getting bullied, and then he's interested in the girl, and then the girl's interested in him, and then they're the only two people who escape because they nuke the town. They nuke U.S. soil because they're like, we don't know how to deal with these alien threat. What do we do? Well, let's just nuke it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe try the military. You know, maybe, I don't know. But then again, it should never have taken place on Earth because that was the dumbest fucking idea ever. Have it take place on a planet, have colonial marines, and the colonial marines are dealing with the alien threat, and the predators show up. That's how you do it. Yeah. That's how all the fucking comics do it, and that's why they're good. That's how the fucking video games do it, and they're good. Yeah. That's how fucking, like, Predator works on the planet because it's a hunter in the jungle. That's why that movie works. Yeah. Predator 2 is a little far-fetched with a predator in the hood, but it's still kind of like the jungle of the city, and I can still dig it. And then Predators is on a predator planet. They don't go, hey, let's just be in suburban America and just have the most basic, quote-unquote, characters possible. I mean, Friday the 13th, part any of them have good characters compared to AVP Requiem. And I think that's the saddest thing you could really say is like, nobody watches Friday the 13th for acting. Let's just be honest. And honestly, some of these action movies, like with Schwarzenegger stuff, people don't watch them for quality acting or anything. They're like, I want to see him blow shit up, and that's what Commando is.
I feel like even with Arnold, it doesn't like. You get to the point where like you don't care if he's doing a shitty job. It's just Arnold.
Yeah,
like you're just like
there's a coolness.
It's still fucking awesome. Like
and then you get films with Schwarzenegger like Predator and Terminator 2 where you're like, holy shit, these are just incredible movies, you know.
Another great horror movie that came out the same year as Predator that he did was one based on a book, The Running Man.
Oh, Running Man was 87.
87.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a really good movie.
It's
I grew up
basically good Hunger Games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, if you haven't watched it, it's like they take prisoners and they put them in this game where they just run through this, like, basically people trying to kill them. All these different things, people trying to kill them, different... It's like Saw. It's all these different, like, modern-day things that they took from shit like that and, like... made it into a game, and if you make it through the thing, then you get to go free. And dude, there's some pretty crazy ass kill scenes in that movie. But
yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah, then he has a little bit of a run of good movies. Red Heat, I haven't seen that one, so I couldn't do a review on that. That was 88.
That's the one with Jim Belushi.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the one with Jim Belushi.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I'll have to check that one out, because I do like Jim Belushi. Wait, Jim Belushi. Huh. The brother. I see. I think I have seen that. Again, been a while. Been a while since I watched a lot of these.
It's been a long time.
Wait, is that the one where he's a Russian guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That one is a good movie. That one's a pretty good movie. But then he has a good run here with okay, basically all the movies up until 2004. I'll say 2004. I'll even put Terminator 3 in a good movies run. His run of good movies. Here's how I'll just call them all out. Starting 1988, you got, I wouldn't say great movies. I'm just going to say ones that he was more known for.
Get on with it.
I'll kill you. 1988, you got Twins.
Okay, cool.
Then you got 1990, Total Recall.
That's a good one. That's
Kindergarten Cop.
Okay, that's a fun one.
Which is like, that. I love that one.
Oh, yeah.
Terminator 2, 1991.
Yep, that's an amazing movie.
Then you got 2-year break, 1993, Last Action Hero.
Okay, I'll say it's amazing, and here, let me explain why.
Because Megadeth wrote a song for it.
Well, listen, like the soundtrack, Megadeth, Alice in Chains is on that thing, AC/DC.
Yeah,
it's so good, and the music video for Big Gun by AC/DC on it. Angus Young rides on Arnold Schwarzenegger's shoulders, playing guitar as they're rocking around the stadium. It's one of the coolest things you'll ever see, in my opinion. Some people might think it's cringeworthy, and those people I don't want to talk to. You know, if you don't like AC/DC, you can fuck off, man. And it's a great soundtrack. And the director was John McTiernan, who did Die Hard and Predator.
Yeah.
So I think he does a good job with what's there.
Dude, the part where when they go back through, when the enemy goes back through, and he goes up and he's talking to this guy in like some alleyway, and he's just like, okay, he pulls out his gun and shoots him, and he's just looking around and he's just like, hello, I've just shot somebody, and like nobody cares, and he's just like, I like this place. Because, like, the real life is just so much worse. Because in a movie, they're just, like, cops would show up immediately if he shot somebody. Yeah. But, Then you got True Lies, 1994.
That's a
I
really good
really like that movie.
I really like it.
That's one of my favorite Arnold movies.
Yeah, it's a really good one. That's James Cameron also.
Wait, that's a James Cameron movie?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it's so good. I didn't know that was a James Cameron movie.
It's really underrated. Yeah, it's really good. You got Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And it's Tom Arnold all coked up.
Yeah. There's so much...
Dude, you can see it,
it's
too.
It's a fun movie.
You can see he's, like, on coke. He's, like grinding his teeth and shit.
Hi there,
yeah,
guys.
There's scenes, and he comes up, and he's like, hey, how you doing? Like, he's, like, whacked out. But, yeah, he had a bad problem. After that movie, I think he went to rehab.
Oh.
But, one of the scenes in that, the terrorist is on the jet with him.
Yeah.
And he backs up into the building, and he just flies into the fin and hits his nuts on there. That was, like... That was fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Then another 1994, you got Junior.
Junior. It's funny, but
Such a weird movie.
It's a weird movie.
Yeah. Arnold gets pregnant and has a kid.
Okay.
Weird.
We got to go back to Total Recall. I'm sorry. Any movie with a three-titted woman's got to get more than a glance over. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Total Recall. Well, that one was based on a book too, right?
Phil Kipdick, who wrote the novel that turned into Blade Runner. He wrote, Do Electric.
That's not a surprise actually, because
Do Android's Dream
they're kind of
similar.
That one kind of scared me when I was younger, because
especially the eyeballs.
That's what I was saying. Right there, that's the thing. When he has a nightmare and he falls and his mask breaks and his eyeballs start popping out.
Yeah, and it makes you think I don't want to go to space
I'm like,
anymore.
Jesus fucking Christ, it's scary as shit.
Every kid's like, I want to be an astronaut, and then you watch that movie and you're like, trash man, it is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that movie is pretty awesome because, and it's kind of hard to figure out. I still don't know what's going on with it because he's a I have no idea, because he's a construction worker, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. But then he goes and does this program that puts him into something. He gets to pick where he is, and he puts himself on Mars as a a soldier, or a spy. I didn't see the remake, but
it's the original's so much better than the remake.
But then at the end, you don't know whether he's the if he's the spy, or if he's the spy doing that program to be a construction worker to work as a normal person, or if it's the construction worker being the spy. That's
some next level shit, man.
Fucks with you. What do you think? What do you think it is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you mean the remake with
Colin Farrell?
I did see that one. You said that one was better?
No. The original's much better.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I was going to say
the remake.
I did see that one, but I didn't.
Basically, the only thing it had in common with
the three titty
was the three-titted woman,
the triple tit,
and then the rest of the movie was just senseless violence.
It was different. Yeah, it was
there was no
the storyline was different.
The story meant nothing. It was just him running.
Yeah,
it was a very terrible version of Blade Runner.
Basically, yeah. That's what they tried.
Deckard was running.
I think that's what they tried to do with the remake of.
They tried to make it like Blade Runner, and Blade Runner is one of my all-time favorite movies. So obviously, I'm always going to be like, oh, you made it feel like Blade Runner, but you're a soulless corporation. You have none of the love that movie had.
Yeah, what they did, they took the atmosphere and totally Blade Runner'd it. The original was more concrete, like Mars. You feel like you're on a 1980s style fucking Mars colony, and then you go to the new one, and it literally feels like Blade Runner with a different storyline. But yeah, unless you wanted to say anything else about Total Recall, I'll keep calling out the list of the movies.
Yup.
After True Lies and Junior, 1996, another good one. Eraser. That one.
Yep.
That was a good one.
When's Jingle All the Way? Is that 97?
That's 96.
Oh, okay. Same here.
Yeah, that one has
What, Eraser? Yeah, we're talking Eraser, right?
I'm talking Jingle All the Way, actually.
Okay. I love Jingle All the Way. It's
one of my favorite like Arnold.
It's such a guilty pleasure movie, but like if we're talking guilty pleasures, it's top 3
Dude,
for me.
You have to think about it too, because it has so many different things. It's the only other movie that the kid from Star Wars did.
Yeah.
Arnold's in it. Sinbad's in it.
Yeah.
And it's the last movie that Phil Hartman did. And he was a comedian, he was in The Simpsons, stuff like that. And he was supposed to be Zap Brannigan in Futurama.
Yeah.
But then his wife killed him when he was asleep and shot him. And then she killed herself. And
yeah, wow.
Unfortunately. And then Billy West actually took the role of Zap Brannigan and did it in how he thought that he would do it, which is basically the same thing all the time. Hey, how you doing? My name is Zap Brannigan.
Yeah, he does a good job at it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a tragic.
Yeah, Jim Belushi was in Jingle All the Way.
Jim Belushi. Yes, he's the one, the shady elf at the mall.
Yeah, that's right. With all
the
Santa Clauses, and then there's that
they go back to the shop and Arnold fights Big Show from WWE.
There's the
midget guy.
There's the midget black guy from Bad Santa's in it too. Yeah, I forget his name, but I was trying to say little person too. You said midget, so I just went along with it. Sorry, short people.
Well, see, I'm sorry, but Kevin, you couldn't think of it, so I said it for you.
I know. Right? I was trying. I sometimes have a brain block when I'm trying not to be offensive, guys. So, I mean, I could speak more fluidly if you really want me to.
If I just took my sensor off, I'd speak really damn.
Yeah, Jingle All the Way is awesome because Sinbad is a mailman, and there's these cops that are trying to stop him, and he's like, you know, I got this package here. It's a bomb, and they're all like, okay, all right. He gives him the bomb, like he gives it to him, and he runs away. It's in this elevator, and he goes down. He's leaving the building, and the main cop there, he's like shakes it and stuff, and he's just like, this isn't a bomb. It couldn't be. And he rips it open, and it just blows up. And it goes down to Sinbad, and he's like, that was a bomb? He's like, man, people are sick. Yeah. Yeah, Jingle All the Way is awesome. And, I mean, if that kid from Star Wars Episode 1,
he
really got, like, he probably would have been all right if he didn't get so much shit from Star Wars 1.
Yeah, well,
that totally drove him away from acting.
It also sent him over the deep end. Like, he actually went crazy and tried to kill somebody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was like, he went to jail and then like a psych ward.
When he was that kid, like that young, or like when he grew up a little bit.
When he like got like 20 or something. Apparently, like he got bullied because of Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they would walk by him and go, bzz. I mean, how's that like bullying though? I'd be like,
well,
yeah,
he said like he would go places and people would say, you were the worst part of Star Wars. You ruined my childhood.
He'd be like, what about Jar Jar?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Darth Vader's supposed to be a man, not a little pussy bitch.
That sucks.
It's like, what 8-year-old kid isn't annoying? And that's why you bring Anakin in as a 16-year-old, and then you say, oh, he's too old to train. But then you remember Luke was that age, and he was too old to train. And you did it anyway.
That kid was 12.
Know what I'm saying? Like, Luke and...
Was he 16?
Well, he would have been like a teenage age or 20 or something.
Yeah, I thought he was like 18, something.
So like somewhere in there. 20. So just say like Anakin should have come in at that age and should have been, you know, oh, hi, I'm here. Oh, wow, you're too old to train. We can't have you in the couch. Rah, rah. And then he wouldn't have been some annoying
well,
kid. And then they could
all right,
just...
so my problem with that is the timeline wouldn't have worked because him being older then, he wouldn't have been able to train and be a Jedi, get up to the Master Jedi rank. He wouldn't have time to do all that. Because, like, he would have to do training in, like, 2 years and get up to Master rank in 2 years or something like that for that to all work. That's the only reason... So the reason that they made him a kid like that was the timeline, because like he would have to be that young to train up to be a Jedi Master, because you can't become a Jedi Master in like 2 years. If he was already 20, by the time that like the third movie was, he'd be like in his third. You realize how old Darth Vader would be? He'd be in his like 60s, 70s or something like that.
Well, I mean,
if he was 20 in the first one, so like it made more sense. Age-wise, to make him
6 years younger.
Yeah.
Okay,
it
Kevin,
does make a difference when you're that fucking old.
So you're like, oh, if Darth Vader's 71, that's hilarious.
6 years,
but if he's 65, oh, that's
look,
just
all right.
He's
you've done
around.
martial arts, which that is Jedi training. Martial arts, 6 years of training. That's 6 extra black belt.
Well, no, but there wasn't a specific time that Darth Vader had to lose his shit, and then the time between the prequels and the sequels, he never, he hadn't established the prequels. George Lucas could have done whatever with it.
I know, but it's just the training that he would have to get, because he's supposed to be one of the strongest, fighters and stuff like that.
Well, he could start his training at 18, and then he does his training for, 6 years then, and then he's just 24 later. Everything just happens later.
Well, the thing is, he already made the first movies. He already made the other 3, so it's already kind of set. Unless he's, adding years onto it. No, now he's this old.
But did they ever establish his age in the original trilogy?
I don't know. Did they ever establish his age, ever?
No.
Because...
So in the prequels, he could have been any age. He could have been 57.
He could have been 15 years old with a growth
What if he was
defect.
in the suit because he was so old that suit was keeping him alive? What if Darth Vader's 150?
Yeah, you're definitely wrong about that one.
Yeah, see, I'm not, though, because you don't know.
I mean, he could be 150. You're right, because
the
Force could be keeping him alive like that, but he's in that suit because he's fucked up from the lava.
Yeah, but you only know that because of what he did with the third movie.
Wouldn't it be great if Arnold Schwarzenegger was in
a Star Wars
movie?
That would have... Sylvester Stallone was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and the MCU has Stallone.
They kind of made that work, though, a little bit. He wasn't the best cut for it. But you know what Arnold was in? What franchise Arnold was in?
What?
Speaking of different franchises, the DC universe as Mr. Freeze. The next year...
Oh, my goodness. How did we forget to talk about...
I was getting to that because Jingle All the Way, his next movie, is Batman and Robin.
Wow.
Yep.
How do we do this masterpiece justice?
I know, right? All the ice puns that are in it, people counted it out. It's some ridiculous number.
The movie was written by an 8-year-old. That's the only explanation.
The bat nipples. This is the infamous bat nipple movie. And it kind of ruined any other chance of that line of Batman to keep going.
Yeah. Batman Forever wasn't that bad.
I didn't like Robin.
Yeah.
I never liked...
The guy who played Robin?
I mean, I get the big thing is, Robin's a fag, Robin's gay. But,
you've never liked the character, or...
I didn't like the actor. That was... I just didn't like... Because he was just kind of... just the way he was acting, he was just kind of like a bitch.
Much better in Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. Yeah. He wasn't Dick Grayson the way Dick Grayson was. He was just kind of no, I want to do this. I'm going to steal a bike and go fucking wreck it and have a Batwoman save me. Batgirl.
Yeah.
And that's Alfred's daughter now.
Yeah. Instead of Commissioner Gordon's daughter.
They're totally switching up. Or not even his daughter. It's his niece or something like that. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's his...
Because if it was his daughter, damn, Alfred, you're getting young.
This is my wife. I mean, daughter. Alfred, that's some weird shit, man. I cut that out.
Then you got 1999. You got End of Days.
Yes, that's an interesting one.
Then you got 2000, The Sixth Day. I actually like that movie.
Oh yeah,
it's a pretty good movie. It's got Terry Crews in it.
I haven't seen it in a long time though.
It's got Terry Crews in it.
Oh,
you gotta watch it. And I'm talking to all you guys too. Check out The Sixth Day if you haven't had it. Keep an open mind, motherfuckers. Check something else out. Because that's what this is all about. The suggestions. Yeah. They can probably hear that.
Ding, 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 ding.
It sounds like what it is. Then you got Collateral Damage. That one's pretty alright. Is that the one where he puts a grenade with a rubber band on it and he like puts the shit on there and it blows up and he walks away? Or is that Eraser?
I don't know.
He's Gordy Brewer. This right yonder.
Oh, okay, that one. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, his family gets killed, something like that. Yeah, that's right, because his family was collateral damage from, like, some government thing. So his family got killed, so he goes against the people that orchestrated the whole event. Yeah. And then he goes and kills them because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's what he does. Then the last one I included into this one, which this guy doesn't agree as a good movie, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. I'm not saying it's a great movie. I'm just saying it's like it's okay. The last one before he does one that's kind of off.
If you're okay with
because he did that, then he did Around the World in 80 Days.
Okay, let me put it this way. Terminator 3 is fine to watch, but I'm happier just watching the first two. But sometimes it's like, I could watch all the Terminators, because 3, I mean, it's still an enjoyable ride. It's just like, the twist ending kind of works, but then you're like, it undoes everything the second one did. And then it's like,
it didn't really, because...
Well, because in the second one, it's like we sub Judgment Day.
It's going to happen anyway. Well, the second one was more like we pushed it back. Like, the third one was like, it was going to happen no matter what.
Yeah. It also has some of the worst CGI I've ever seen, though. When Arnold is riding on the fire truck and
he was supposed to be an upgraded version of the T600. He's the T850 in that one.
Yeah, definitely check out Terminator 3 just to watch that scene
where he's riding. Dude, I used to laugh the whole. I thought that was awesome.
It's so fucking bad.
That's the sound effects. Like he's just going ding. Like
it sounds like a fucking pinball machine shit. It's just like, this is so fucking
It's awesome.
bad. But it's...
Then you got the Around the World in the 80 Days, and that's like his off one, I think. He just like, let's...
When was that from?
He's like, I made a couple good ones. Let's like do this and then take off for a little bit. Because he did Terminator 3 in 2003. Then he did Around the World in 80 Days in 2004. They took off for 6 years. Is that the year?
He was the governor.
Did the governor. And you know what came out in those 6 years? Terminator Salvation. You know what they did? CGI'd him back in there. They shouldn't have done that. That's all I gotta say. They beat Christian Bale to death.
Bad.
Christian Bale to death with a CGI Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And then the Terminator sacrifices his heart to save him. Isn't it so sweet? It's like E.T. It's like E.T. Because Terminator had Terminators in it, and the CGI was so good because it's new, and new things are good, and old things are bad.
I don't like that one. Dude, you know what? Yes. They should have let him die. They should have let Christian Bale die in that. Yeah. And then they took the Terminator that killed him and send him back, like they told in the third movie. Because in the third Terminator... He's like, yeah, I killed you to John Connor. So he killed John Connor before he got sent back by Catherine Booster. So technically, they should have just let him get killed by Arnold, and then take that robot and send him back, and that would have made a continuity thing for the third movie.
Yeah.
But no, didn't happen that way. They took 6 years off to be the governor of California. So, and that was the end of his career. No, I'm just kidding. Then he was, then he came back as Trench in The Expendables 1 and 2, 2010 and 2012. What are your thoughts on that? The Expendables.
Oh, I like those movies, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
seems
no. What?
That seems like one of the most expensive movies to fucking make. The Expendables. Because all those top list actors and shit. You got Terry Crews. You got Chuck Norris. You got Stallone. You got Arnold. You got Jet Li. I'm missing a couple. Yeah. But, like, you got Jason Statham. How much did it cost to make that movie? Probably a shitload. And then they ended up making a third one in 2014. But let's not skip. You can't skip Johnny Knoxville in The Last Stand.
Yeah, so we got Last Stand, so was that all you wanted to say about the Expendable movies, or?
No, we can keep talking about them.
I mean, the first one was, I was really hyped for the first one. I thought that was really cool, and I really liked it. And then the second one I saw, and I
liked it. And then the third one was like, they came out with a third one?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
The problem with the third one is it kind of didn't do so well because there was a hack of Sony right beforehand, and the film got put online for free. So many people went on and downloaded it and then shared it with everybody they knew.
That sucks.
And then people just didn't go to see it.
Yeah, that probably fucked up a fourth one then.
Yeah, well, and then the other problem was they edited it down to PG-13 because they're like, oh, we'll get the teen crowd. And then people were like, I went to these because I like 80s action movies. Clearly, I'm old enough to go see an R-rated movie.
The first two were R. Why would you switch it?
Yeah. And it pissed off some of the fans and stuff, so yeah.
But is that what all you wanted to say? I know. In Expendables 1, Stallone got all fucked up. He ruptured a disc and shit like that, and tore some tendon in his ankle. He almost didn't finish making the movie.
Wow.
Because he tore his ankle, and then he kept doing the shit, even though he was almost fucked. Like, he almost, ruined his career in acting, basically, with the injuries he sustained from it. But he did it. Got through it. He made 2 more of them.
Yeah.
Now he's making Rambo. He's making another Rambo movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited, too. But, is that all you wanted to say about the Expendables, or you want to elaborate on that a little bit more?
The only other thing I would say is...
check it out if you haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, no, those are good ones, and they're fun. If you like 80s action movies, you'll dig them.
It's definitely going in for an action thing. Don't go in for the story, go in for the fucking action of it.
Yeah.
It's still got a story.
Yeah.
It's still got a story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a Stallone movie. I'm pretty sure, I think he worked on a lot of it in the making of it and stuff. So, I mean, you like Stallone, you'll like this one.
Yeah.
He's the leader. After The Last Stand, you got Escape Plan. That came out the same year as 2013.
So Escape Plan... Okay, so Last Stand's the one where he's the sheriff of the Texas town, and then they take on, the cartel dude and stuff.
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville's the deputy.
That one's a fun one. I actually enjoy that.
Yeah.
The director of that is actually a pretty well-known director. I'm pretty sure it's a very well-known South Korean director, Jin Woo Kim, if I'm correct. He's done a lot of really good movies, so I think that one's up pretty underrated. I think it gets overlooked, and then
probably because of Johnny Knoxville. But I mean, he does pretty good. Yeah,
I thought he's pretty funny.
He's not just jackass all the time.
And then Escape Plan's Schwarzenegger and Stallone. right? Is that the next one you said?
Yeah, that's the next one. Yeah, and Stallone.
Yeah.
50 Cent.
Oh, yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen this one.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, we should watch it. We'll do guys talk about stuff watches.
Yeah, right. Sam Neill.
Sam Neill.
Man, I like Sam Neill. He's a good actor.
He was in what movie now?
Who, Sam Neill?
Yeah.
Jurassic Park?
No. What movie were you talking about?
Oh, the movie. The movie we were just talking about, Escape Plan.
Oh, Sam Neill's in it?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot. Wow.
Jesus. He probably gets killed. He's been getting killed in a lot of things lately.
This is what happens when neither of us do notes. We're just like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, wing it.
Wing that shit, motherfucker.
Here's a good movie that I would suggest. It's definitely rated R. I'll tell you that much. Sabotage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like a grindhouse movie in some ways.
Sort of, yeah. And it's like a mystery, sort of, at the same time.
Yeah.
But, like, basically, Arnold is in a group of, was it DEA agents or something?
Yeah.
And they end up stealing all this money from a cartel. And it's the aftermath of that. Like, if you know about the cartel, like, if you steal shit from them, yeah, they'll fuck you up. And it's basically, like, the consequences of all that. But it has a twist at the end that's pretty crazy. It has a twist at the end that's pretty crazy, and then what happens to the twist is even more crazy. But then after you got Expendables 3 that came out the same year as Sabotage. Yeah, Arnold's been more active lately than he has been in the last few. Well, I guess he just stopped because he was the governor, but then he came back. But still, he's been consistently putting stuff out every year or two, sometimes 2 a year. But then you got movie Maggie. I also didn't see that, but I heard it was really good. And Terminator Genesis. I saw that. Didn't like it that much. It says it here that he's a T-800, which would say that he's a lower model than the one he was in Terminator 3. But he's an aged version of it, so he just like sat for a while and waited for him, and he aged.
Let's just, yeah.
But did you see Maggie?
It's not that bad of a movie. It's just kind of hokey.
Yeah. Did you see Maggie?
I wanted to, but I haven't. No.
Same deal with me.
You're like, did you see it? Is it good?
Yeah.
Nope. I was gonna ask you the same thing.
Aftermath. That's I did not see that, but I'm pretty sure that he was an air traffic controller and planes collided. Or no, he wasn't a plane. No, his daughter was on a plane of...
Get off my plane.
Yeah, 2 planes that collided because an air traffic controller messed up or something like that. And then he's like talking, he's confronting that person after that and stuff like that. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong.
So you're telling
no,
what
it's
you think
definitely
the plot is.
It definitely has to do with planes that collided because an air traffic controller. I'm just not sure his role in that. I think he's the parent of somebody that died, and he's confronting the people that were.
That's better, Kevin. I thought you were just like, I'm pretty sure that's the movie, or it might not be. Hell, I mean,
my stance is still kind of the same there. I could be wrong. Then you got Killing Gunther. I actually haven't even heard of this one. It's a newer one. Okay, the cover looks interesting.
Can I see that?
Arnold's got some pretty interesting glasses on there. It's like hippie, but orange instead of. But he's wearing a suit. I'm gonna have to check that out. I know he's Gunther in that, so that's all I can tell you about that one, guys. Real educated podcast here. We're good. It's kind of like the Bill Burr podcast. You know, we go in uneducated, and it turns out to be better for us. Because if we came in educated, it'd be boring. It'd just be spitting out facts instead of spitting out maybes. That could be how it could be, but we don't really know.
Quality isn't our forte. Let's just say.
Okay. Yeah, 2018, he came out with a movie that's VIY2. I can't say that. VI2. Journey to China. He's Captain Hook, which
he played capitalist pig number 5.
Jackie Chan is in it.
Oh.
Okay. Is that an indicator on what a quality of a movie is? Because he's been in some, like, wide range of movies. Country, Russia and China. It's a Universal picture. It had a budget of $50 million. I mean, it did have those people in it. Check out the premise. Set in the 18th century, the film follows a continuing exploits of cartographer Jonathan Green.
Oh my goodness. Led Zeppelin to reunite as replacement for the Rolling Stones at Jazz Fest.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, no. It's April Fool's Day.
Fucking called you.
Oh, you know what? You know what,
Dude,
Kevin?
I grew up getting excited for Led Zeppelin trying to reunite, and I just know it's not
You're
gonna
like,
happen.
if it was really going to happen, it
would
would
be
not
so
be
big.
announced on April Fool's Day.
Yeah, and it would be all over the news.
I mean, I'd have gotten a notification.
Yeah, like I would have gotten emails.
I wouldn't
and
see
stuff.
it on liveforthemusic.com.
Yeah, Loudwire does it. I'll listen to them. They might do a fucking April Fool's though. So his next movie coming out is Terminator: Dark Fate.
Yeah, it says April Fool's at the bottom.
But that's not an April Fool's. He actually is coming out with a new Terminator. The story was conceived by Tim Miller.
Yeah, what
and
were we talking about? I was looking
co-creator James Cameron, who was not a co-creator of the Terminator. He is the creator, so fuck that.
Yo, Kevin. What were we talking about? I was looking something up.
Oh my god, you were looking up Led Zeppelin.
No,
reuniting.
something Schwarzenegger.
You were looking up that movie? Probably.
Yeah. What movie was it?
I'm getting to it.
Come on, Kevin.
Killing Gunther?
No.
Or the VIY2 Journey to China?
That thing.
He's Captain Hook.
Oh. You just know this is going to be a good movie. Look at this picture.
Is it a foreign film, though? I mean, it has...
It's Jackie Chan and Schwarzenegger. And look at the outfits.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Let's check out this IMDb. So, wait a minute. Okay, so it's called that in China. In America, it's called The Mystery of Dragon Seal, The Journey to China.
The Mystery of Dragon Seal?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
On IMDb, I'll tell you what the rating is. Let's go. Let's go, boy. Oh, it isn't out yet. It comes out August 29th.
It says that it came out 2018.
Well,
Probably in China.
yeah, so yeah.
So that's his movie. Like,
It's probably pretty bad,
that's his
honest.
acting resume there.
Yeah. He did direct, I know, notably, he directed an episode of Tales from the Crypt where this buff guy and this old guy switch bodies because the old guy wants to be buff, but he has to pay the buff guy all of his money. And then the woman he likes decides to marry the rich guy at the end, but the guy who's rich at the end was the buff guy originally who sold his body, and it's kind of funny. It's a good one. I like that show. I mean, Tales from the Crypt, I could watch it all day. I mean, it's a great anthology show, and I highly recommend it. And Schwarzenegger's even in that episode. You see him at the beginning with the Crypt Keeper and his big arms and everything, and he's like, "Oh, I could crush you." You know.
So if you wanna know his personal records for lifting, it's just kind of interesting because I'm pretty close. I was 100 pounds off on him on squat.
What was his squat?
545. My max in high school was 445. Note, I almost fucking passed out doing it, but I did it. I got it up, so it's pretty crazy. But I mean, his bench press was 520 pounds. The most I've ever done was 230, and I was 175 pounds. This motherfucker. And I'm 5'7". This motherfucker's 6 something. He's pretty tall. His clean and press 264. Snatch, which I'm not really sure what that one is. 243. Clean and jerk 298. Mine was 175. Said to squat. Bench press was 520. Ridiculous. Deadlift, which my deadlift was the same as my squat. So it was 440 something. His deadlift is 710.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's
there's Mr.
Wow.
Olympia for 7 years for you.
I was Mr. Olympia for 8 years. So.
Yeah, look at this guy over here. He's
GOAT,
definitely
man.
be the opposite there.
Oh, whoa.
He had a 22-inch rim arm.
Wow.
Yeah, bigger than my car tires. Mine's like what, 16, something like that. Arnold. Well, that's his acting career and his lifting career. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on? Because that's pretty much Arnold. Fucking.
Let's talk about favorites.
Monster favorites.
So,
Terminator.
What are your top 5 Schwarzenegger movies?
Terminator. I'll clump Terminator 1 and 2 as one thing.
Okay. Why?
So that it doesn't take up 2 spots.
Okay, that's fair.
But they're number 1.
Why do you like them?
What? I'm not going to explain that one. Explain yourself, asshole. Because they're fucking Terminator. I grew up with them.
They're good movies.
They're fucking awesome. Dude, I loved how, Terminator's face would just get shot off and it'd just be the robot underneath. And he'd just be like,
Yeah.
fuck you. Just kill him anyway. Yeah. Then I would say... Let me try and get these lined up in my head. There's Running Man, Kindergarten Cop, True Lies.
Is that what you're going with?
As my second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say True Lies. No. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I would go Terminator, True Lies. Then Kindergarten Cop. That's on the list. I wouldn't say that. That's not. The Predator. No. Terminator, Predator.
Yeah, okay. So we agree on that.
Terminator, Predator. Then,
Jungle All the Way. I watch it every year. So I mean, it's yeah.
I have it on VHS, so I haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah. Oh, do you have the one where Schwarzenegger has Turbo Man on the front, the cover? I had that VHS. Oh, I feel so old. That was so long ago when I had
the
VHS
90s.
tapes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember VHS? Oh my God, we're on 4K now. I'm ancient, man.
Well, if I'm not putting them in order, I won't put them in order. Terminator, The Predator, Total Recall, The Running Man, True Lies, The Sixth Day.
Okay.
That would be my group. What about you, buddy?
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, I think I'm going to do it like this. I think this is mine. Okay. Get ready to judge me.
I'm going to judge you.
Number 5, Jingle All the Way. I watch it every year. I understand.
Oh, I'll pop Jungle All the Way on that list, too. I forgot to add that
It's
on
one
there.
of those movies that I know a lot of people say it's terrible, and I could see somebody watching it and thinking it's terrible, but I really don't think it's...
Dude, it's like I said earlier. It's
fun.
like I said earlier. It doesn't matter how bad the movie is. It's an Arnold movie. It also has Phil Hartman, and he's fucking
Put
good.
that cookie down.
Yeah, Phil Hartman's good. I was wrong.
Where's your mother?
I was wrong. I don't think this was his last movie. Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
Small Soldiers was his last movie,
Yeah,
which he did right after this movie.
Yeah, I remember. That was the first PG-13 movie I ever saw because my parents didn't realize it was PG-13.
That movie's great. I love that movie.
I love Small Soldiers. Yeah, Jingle All the Way is one of those movies. I watch it, and every time it just makes me laugh from start to finish. And where's your mother? Jamie. And that's the thing.
Jamie.
They always give Schwarzenegger J-name kids just to fuck with him because they know he's gonna go Jamie, Charles, Timmy, Chimmy, Chama, Chong.
You're like, Jock.
Where's Chaka? Where's Chuck? And it's like, you couldn't have named him David or something. He's like, where's David? You know,
David.
said it just fine.
Where's David?
Okay, we undersold. When we talk about Schwarzenegger mannerisms, like, people don't talk enough about it because it's one of those things where you put a Schwarzenegger movie on, like Jingle All the Way, he makes every face imaginable. He grabs a small child to get a bouncy ball because he needs to get a doll for his kid for Christmas. I mean, that's the fucking plot of this movie. Jingle All the Way is so fun. I love the scene at the bar when Sinbad's going to throw back a shot, and it turns to the kid and he goes, "Here's to you, Dad."
Yeah.
And it cuts to Schwarzenegger with like his jaw dropping, like, what the fuck am I watching?
It's just like it's Anakin Skywalker taking a shot.
It's the funniest thing, and And then later on, one of the best parts, they're talking to him about when they're putting the Turbo Man suit on him. And the guy goes, "Hey, I know you'd like to know, but the guy who was in the costume, they said he's showing signs of brain activity."
Yeah. That was fucking hilarious. Oh, my God. That was great.
Yeah. And then the one he calls the home and the kid answers like, "Oh, Dad," and then he goes, "Where's your mother?" "She's next door petting Ted."
Yeah,
because they named the reindeer the same thing as the neighbor.
He's like,
Ted.
he's doing what? Yeah.
And then when he calls and he's eating the cookies, he's like, "Put that cookie down."
Yeah.
Those are my cookies. On my Christmas, he's putting the star on my tree, and then he goes and steals a present from the neighbor's kid.
Yeah.
I mean, Jingle All the Way deserves to be on the same kind of list of like movies as like Birdemic and stuff, but like honestly, Jingle All the Way falls under guilty pleasure, and I would say it's so bad it's good, but I actually don't think it's that bad. But it's like it's that weird kind of thing where I couldn't actually place how it is. Because it's way too good to be a shitty movie, and it's way too bad to be a good one. It's got, like, pure cheese, pure hokiness. Wow. I mean, a lot of good things. So that's number 5. I like how out of all of them, that's the one that I'm going to say the most about. It's like, Jingle All the Way, number 5. It's like, sounds like it should be number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah, but if I put Jingle All the Way number 1 over, like, Terminator, people would be like, "What the fuck, man? Are you crazy?"
Yes.
But yeah, man. Number 4, I have Conan. I guess you could kind of just lump the
both
two
of them,
together. And then Red Sonja's basically in the same universe, but it's not really, but it kind of is. It's supposed to be, but it isn't because of rights and shit. But we won't talk about that one. The first Conan movie, though, I have a ton of fun with it. As I said, there's so many great moments in that movie. I mean, there's James Earl Jones turns into a snake and fights him. I mean, where else are you gonna see that? It's a good one. So yeah, number 4 is Conan. Number 3, Total Recall. It's a great one. Philip K. Dick wrote the novel, and I have a collection of Philip K. Dick books, and I just hit my wall. And but Philip K. Dick's one of like my favorite writers. I really think he has a whole bunch of great stories that he told. I mean, you could really see that a lot of people like his writing because they still do his work to this day. Man in High Castle, the show, that was Philip K. Dick. Blade Runner 2049 came out recently, you know. There's still a whole bunch of stuff where people are still returning to what he wrote, and I think that really says a lot about it. And then just overall, Schwarzenegger's fun in it. You have a 3-boob woman. I mean, where else are you going to get that? Okay. I mean, that's... I don't know that I'm going to put that on my major positives for the film, but, you know, it's a plus, you know?
Yeah.
I'm joking, but, yeah, no, Total Recall's my third. Number 2, Predator. I mean, you know, get to the chopper. You know, it's a good one. I mean, Predator is one of the best action movies of the 80s because it's the first time you saw these macho men actually fight something that could kill them. Because in every movie, guys just hip fire and killing 150 bad guys and saves the day. Predator was like, no, this thing can kill your whole crew of super trained mercenaries.
Yeah.
Like, so this Predator thing's pretty legit. Predator spawned, you know, a great franchise, and yeah, Predator's great. And then you got Terminator. For my number 1 spot, I said, you know, I'll combine 1 and 2. I'll do the same thing you did because if you're gonna cheat, I will. And then I don't have to pick between 1 and 2 because that's where the tough would be.
Yeah.
I'd be like, then Predator would drop to 3, and then it's like, cannot fucking pick between 1 and 2. See, most people would say, well, it's Terminator 2. What are you talking about? It's like, Terminator 1 is probably the best slasher movie ever done. And, like, I've never seen, like, a slasher movie on the scale. Okay, maybe it and Halloween are tied for number 1. Let's do that. Let's say they're the best slasher movies, but, like, it's tied for the best of its genre.
Yeah.
And then Terminator 2 is one of the best of its genre. And I like both genres, so I'm not going to just sit here and go, well, the one's better than the other. No, I think they're both great, so I think...
We could classify as it is clown murderer. Halloween is slasher. Terminator is killer robot.
Killer robot.
Classify it in 3 different sections. Still number 1.
Yeah. Yeah. I had somebody tell me that The Shining was the best slasher movie, and I'm like, I guess to some degree it kind of is.
Just near the end
but,
there, yeah, right?
But, yeah, I mean...
Because, you know, the here's Johnny part.
Yeah. And then he fucking
goes out. Then he goes outside and sits down and freezes. Yeah. That's the best part.
You just ruined one of the best horror movies of all time for some people. Now, if you haven't seen The Shining, like, go fuck yourself.
That's true.
Kevin's like, well, if they haven't already seen it, they're a lost cause. It's like, I'm over here with this motherfucker. He ain't seen A Clockwork Orange or The Shining.
Well, I did just watch Clockwork Orange like yesterday.
Oh, really?
So,
me and my droogs.
Do that end scene where he's like eating the food and just like,
yeah,
it's getting the guy to fucking feed him.
It is pretty
it's
funny.
Fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, and then, you know, it cuts to the dream thing. It's like, oh,
He's like, and I was cured. I couldn't tell if he died at the end or if he, like...
No.
He was cured. Because it seemed like he just had a fucking brain aneurysm.
Well...
And he's just like, I was cured, guys.
Well, what he means by he's cured is he was back to where he started. He's the same little deviant bastard he was at the beginning of the movie.
Well, yeah, because the song that they were playing at the end was the 9th, right?
Yeah.
Because when he's like, oh, I got a song for you. It's a big surprise. You're going to like it.
It was the one that was like...
They brought in the things. That was the thing that he was freaking out. He couldn't listen to the 9th.
Yeah.
Was that the 9th that they were playing at the end of the...
I have the soundtrack right over here, so I could just look at it.
Yeah, that'd be a...
Oh.
That'd be a good one.
Oh, yeah, it's a great soundtrack.
Good one, young child.
Yes, 9th Symphony, 4th movement.
The very last one?
Yep.
Okay, so then he's able to listen to it back at the end.
Not Ludwig van.
Mm-hmm. Ludwig van. He's like, it's Ludwig van. He's like, it's spelled B-E. And she's like, I know, I got it.
He's like, I know. Interesting thing about that movie, I know it's not really the topic at hand, but
Still
why the
fuck
not?
Check it out.
Think about it. This is our suggestion stage.
There it is.
Talking about movies we saw recently. It's one of those great things where, I mean, part of the movie is kind of talking about how there's certain things in people's nature, and it's like, is it moral to destroy their ability to choose?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Now, it's not condoning rapists and shit. Like, I've had people tell me that, and I'm like, no. It's just more of, they're going to have a nice watch on Alex at the end there. I mean, he's in their hospital, and at this point, you could also argue at this point he's also kind of in a not vegetative state, but you can assume that they cut some stuff out of his head. So maybe he still has those urges and stuff, but he's kind of he ain't all there. And if you watch his function at the end where he's like, with the mouth and all that, he's kind of acting like a child. So you can almost assume, like, maybe he has these thoughts and ideas, but has no ability to act upon them. And if he's going to be in that hospital and he's watched and it's a one flew over the cuckoo's nest situation, it's a whole nother...
I don't think that, like, he was really fucked up. I think that, like, when he tried to kill himself, it kind of, like, untripped the whole thing. And, like, he recovered. And it also helped him recover mentally from the whole thing. And, like, I think he was just back to... Like you said, he was back to square one at the end. Yeah. Where, like, he wasn't, like, mentally fucked up or anything. Like, he had no, like, problem. He was just doing that to be a dickhead. That... Like, like, you're feeding me, so he's just like, every time he'd do it even more, like, he just like, this guy just gave him, like, made him kill himself, basically. That guy was the guy that was, like, he picked him for it. And he's like, wasn't that, like, and he was government guy telling him to, like, shut up, basically. Yeah. He's like, you'll work wherever you want, at whatever wage you want. No matter what, as long as you're on my side, right?
Yeah. Well. Yeah, at the end, it's kind of funny how smile and wave for the cameras, because that's what matters. My votes. And that's the thing. You kind of see how the government really doesn't care how people act as long as they get votes, It's great. At the end of the day, that's all that matters to him. And we just got to look like we're doing stuff. And that's the story of the American government, I know some people could argue.
So my suggestions would be, if you haven't checked them out, give me 1 second here. 1 second. All right. If you haven't seen them yet, Arnold movies. I'll pop one non-Arnold movie in there. Say, watch Clockwork Orange. It's great. Warning, there's a lot of sexual abuse topic in it. But it is a really good movie. It touches on some topics there. Makes you think. It's pretty fucked up at the same time. So check it out. For Arnold movies, I would say check out Pumping Iron.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say the non-main ones because if you gotta watch the main Arnold's.
The main Schwartzies.
So check out Pumping Iron. Check out The Sixth Day. And another one I would pop in there would be Sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Check out those 3 movies by Arnoldo. That would be my suggestions for Arnold movies. What you got for suggestions?
My suggestions are, let's see. I guess for Schwarzenegger, I'll do some under the radar kind of stuff. I'd say Jingle All the Way. That might be a little bit under the radar. And I guess another under the radar one is
Kindergarten Cop.
I mean, I could say Kindergarten Cop. I mean, I think a lot of people do talk about Kindergarten Cop.
Sorry, I'm a party pooper. Put a poop on your party.
I'm just trying to think. I mean, Hercules in New York. If you want,
if you want to see his first movie, there you
go. I mean, he fights a fucking bear. You have to watch that scene alone. It's hilarious. You got to watch it on YouTube. Let's see. I mean, I recently watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4. If you want to watch a bonkers, nutty movie, you can watch that. I saw Jordan Peele's Us, and that was pretty good. What else have I seen recently? Yeah.
All right, there's Alex's suggestion.
There's I guess I could give one more I'll go for a completely you know what? I'll just go for an easy one. I'll just say Philip K. Dick wrote Total Recall. You can check out Total Recall.
Check out Total Recall. If you haven't seen Total Recall, definitely watch that one.
Do that up, and then also do a Blade Runner.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Blade Runner, definitely do that.
Yeah, watch those up. You get a little the same vibe going there. You could watch them back to back, and you can compare the two.
Yeah.
So, anything else you wanted to touch on the Arnold, good old Arnold, while we're still here?
No, I think that's just about it.
All right, cool. Well, next week maybe we'll do something interesting like Indiana Jones or something like that.
You want to do Indiana Jones for next week? I mean,
I'm just picking a random thing.
I mean, it worked.
We could do Harrison Ford stuff. I feel like we should do Indiana Jones separately, do Harrison Ford separately.
Yeah. So, do you want to do Indiana Jones or do you want to do Harrison Ford?
We could do Indy.
Okay.
Let's do some Indies. All right, guys. You guys can look forward to some Indiana Jones.
I guess I'm going to have to watch all of them now.
That's what I'm going to do. I don't have the Blu-rays. I got the regular DVDs.
I have the DVD set.
Got a box set of it, yeah.
Yeah, I think if
we
you
probably
go
got the same one.
Yeah, it's probably the same one, yeah.
Cool. All right, guys.
All right.
It's been good talking to you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell people to check us out. If you like us, they might too. Have a good week, guys. We'll have stuff popping up here and there. Onwards and onwards.
Onward.
See you next Friday. Goodbye.
See you next time. Bye-bye.